Going home.
I know breaking up sucks, but you know what's even worse? Wasting a night in New York City.
Give it to me, I'm worth it.
Let me teach you how to be single.
Hi everyone, I'm Daphney and I am a certified date and relationship coach. And today we are going to talk about How to Be Single, the movie. I rewatched it last week or the week before and I was like, you know what? This movie should really be called How to Be Non-Committal, right? Because, you know, I don't know what it was about the movie, but let's just get into it really quickly, right? So I want to start at the top where Dakota, and y'all forgive me because I don't remember the characters' names. So we're gonna just use their real names for the ones that I know. And then we're gonna make up some stuff, okay? So Dakota Johnson. We all know Dakota Johnson. Anyway, so let's start at the top. She started off by wanting to take a break from her boyfriend at the time, right? Because she was moving to New York.
Pretty girl, this is New York City. There's like 1 billion people outside that door.
You know, getting ready to start what I would call her adult life, right? And so to me, taking a break, I mean, is that really a thing, right? Y'all know I've talked about taking healthy breaks, right? And it's okay to take healthy breaks. I'm not sure that this was a healthy break, right? And it kind of like sparked a whole bunch of stuff, which kind of like is what the story is about. Like her part of the story is about, which, you know, she's like, to me, the main character. So it's like about her anyway. So the first thing where I could see someone being non-committal is this, I want to take a break. Let's see what happens. You know, we'll revisit this later, right? So that's the first sign of someone being non-committal and the boyfriend being so confused, right? So let's jump all the way to New York City when the first day she starts her job and she meets Rebel Wilson.
No!
Emoji!
Oh!
And Rebel Wilson is like the ultimate non-committal person, I think. At least one of them in the movie, right?
You were great last night.
Was I?
I can't remember.
She doesn't take her work seriously. She doesn't take, you know, her career seriously. She doesn't take romantic relationships seriously. And she kind of really isn't taking her life seriously. And, you know, she is very like party girl, you know, hooking up all the time, not being responsible, never showing up for work on time, just not committed to a lot of stuff in her life, right? So let's just get into some of the other characters. Damon Wayans Jr.
What do you do?
Okay, so his character was adorable, we all know, right? He had this cute little kid. I mean, the kid pretty much stole the show if you ask me, but the kid was so adorable. But the whole point of this is that he had lost his wife a couple of years ago, and now he's trying to get back into, you know, dating and relationships. But the thing about it is he can't commit because he's not ready, you know, emotionally. You know, we always talk about, you know, emotional readiness and emotional maturity, right? Emotional stability, honey. And he didn't have none of that, right? He was a very successful person. He was as kind and sweet as he could be. He was a really good dad, other than he was in denial, which made him, you know, non-committal because he couldn't really commit to Dakota Johnson, right? Because he was still in love with his former wife. And he couldn't even talk about his wife to his child. And that's how much it pained him. And in this case, Damon really needed to heal more. He really needed to like focus on, you know, how do I get to a better place, not only for me, but also for this child that I have, because I need to be able to move on eventually. So as endearing as that was, it really showed another sign of being non-committal, which was based on his denial with the fact that he wasn't ready yet. He hadn't healed enough, okay? So let's talk about the person that I consider the bar girl. And y'all know, if y'all have seen the movie, you know who I'm talking about. It's the one who sits at the bar, she's working, she's bringing her dates in, and she has these algorithms where she's like trying to meet people online, and she meets people online. And then she realized quickly that they're not her person, right?
Like 1 billion people outside that door.
Yeah, but how many eligible people?
But she continues to do it, and this person who owns the bar keeps saving her because she, you know, she really hasn't committed to really understanding.
Them are married. 10% are gay.
In my opinion, she really hasn't committed to understanding what love really means and what healthy relationships really are, right? And so even with her, friends from college,
feels loved and understood and wanted. But then her friend sees him dining with the peach lady, and before she knows it, she's kicked out of the castle.
it's like she couldn't be herself. She couldn't commit to and couldn't own up to who she was and who she is and all the things, right? So she had to create this fake scenario just to make herself feel better and look better in front of these other people who probably could care less anyway, right? So the bar girl. Now, let me just talk about another part of what the relationship, or in the movie, a relationship for the bar girl, is when she meets a guy, who is now married to, I believe, Scarlett Johansson, and I cannot remember his name, but he's a cutie pie, right? So she meets him, and he, from a dating app, and then she likes him. She's like, this is my person, all the things, right? And then, he gets scared off.
I'm sorry, did you just say you're seeing other people?
Yeah. I mean, isn't that the whole point of online dating?
Because he's like, she's moving way too fast. I've only known this girl for a week or two, right? And now she wants us to be committed in a relationship. And part of that is because she doesn't really know what a healthy relationship looks like. But the other part that I want to talk about is him. He was extremely non-committal, but he was also honest. He was like, look, this is too much for me. I'm not ready for this. I didn't sign up for this, right? And it's really sad because, this woman is looking for love, right? She's wanting this, but she's looking, in my opinion, in all the wrong places with all the wrong people, right? And the good thing about it, and I'll just get into it really quickly, is that she finally meets someone, by accident. I don't know what happened, mishap. She finally meets someone who, that she can actually be in a committed relationship to and start building something real. Okay, so let's talk about the last person that I felt was very non-committal in the movie. And that's the bar owner. The bar owner was so in denial.
These are the women?
Yes.
He was like, I don't want no relationship. I'm not doing this, but to me that was more about fear. It was more about I don't want anyone hurting me.
Is to love them, but get them to leave you. That way, nobody gets hurt.
So I'm just gonna bow out. I'm gonna be this, dude who just has a good time. I'm not gonna worry about it, because I already have this bar that I'm responsible for. So I'm just gonna pretend like I don't need love. I don't need relationship. I don't need a permanent person in my life, right? So he was so in denial. Okay, so having said all of this and talking about these people who are in denial, one of the things that I loved about the movie, and Dakota got it in the end, and this is my point that I want to make with this video, right, is that she finally realized that she needed to commit to herself, right? She needed to commit to who she was and who she was becoming and what she wanted in life. And that's the key here, is that, it's hard to be in healthy, whole relationships, happy relationships, right? Until you are really good with yourself. So I have to say that at the end of the movie, I was pleased to see that she finally got it, that I need to focus on me. I need to be good for me. And that's my point for you guys, is that before you try to dive into, a relationship, a long-term relationship, make sure you're happy, make sure you're whole, make sure you're good with yourself. This is Daphney, and thank you for joining me for Coachable Moments at the Movies.